Yo, welcome back to the ScreenBytes Podcast, where we talk about movies, video games, technology, and anything in between. I'm one of your co-hosts, Jacob, and I got my boy. I always do that.
Always the wrong way. Got talent.
Talent. Today we got a banger of an episode. I know we say we got banger episodes every time, but we really do. We're not lying.
They're all bangers, yeah.
They're all bangers. We got some news coming up. Talent's going to be going over the Spiderman movie, the new one that just released, and his opinions on it. We're going to discuss a little Mermaid movie, just a little bit. We haven't really, me and him, we haven't watched it, but we're going to kind of talk about what we've heard. And then Talent's got a pretty good top 7 for me. And then we're going to be discussing Spider-Man movies, which ones are the best. So we got an action-packed one. It should be a good one. But before we hop on in, how you been, man?
Been good, dude. I went to Bogart's on Friday.
Did you?
Oh, yeah, with you. Yeah. It's crazy.
Oh, yeah, I was there. I was there. I remember now. Bogart. Why were we there?
Crazy. We're like sardines, dude. Like, I couldn't move anywhere. I was standing in front of this girl, and I was like trying to ask her, like, am I in your way? And I think I made her nervous because she was like, I'm with her. I was like, okay, am I in your way? And she didn't answer me, so I walked away as much as I could because it was packed in there.
Yes, and to explain why we were at Bogart's, we were there for Bop to the Top, for the Disney High School Musical thingy. Yeah. My fiance absolutely loves High School Musical. Sounds like your girlfriend, she likes Disney, but I don't know, you guys didn't really see that many High School Musicals, it sounded like. So you guys weren't like in tune with the High School Musical like we were.
I watched the first 2 as a kid. I never watched the third one, but I knew all the songs to 1 and 2, and I haven't listened to them since probably 10 years or so. Like it's been a while. So I knew like Bet on It. I knew Fabulous and what was it?
Bet on it. Yeah, the Fabulous is one. What are some other iconic? The one song that we didn't get to listen to was like We're All in This Together. Like I knew that was gonna be like the last song.
We didn't do that. We didn't do the What Time Is It? Like the beginning song of number 2. I like that one.
That one too. But it was fun too. Yeah, they played so they started off playing like just general Disney songs. We ended up, believe it or not, there was so many people there. There was like lines from from Bogart's to it, like wrapped 3 or 4 times around the building.
It was wrapped around the block it was on. Like it went really far.
Yeah, a lot of people were there. A lot of people were dressed up. It was really it was a fun time. They played but yeah, before the main person there was Ashley Tisdale's co-star. I don't know his name, but he played her brother, Sharpay's brother. Who was his name? What was his name?
I think his name's Ryan.
Ryan. Yeah, he was there, kind of doing the whole thing. So he was good.
Oh yeah, he sang his own song too. He made like a song like I Love Nintendo.
Yeah, he made a song out of Nintendo, which was definitely interesting. It was so basically they played like Disney songs to start with, like just general Disney songs. Like they even had like the Phineas and Ferb theme song when we were walking in. They had like Selena Gomez, Wizards of Waverly Place. Like they had a lot of really good just Disney songs, and then they switched to more High School Musical songs when he came out, and then he played his Nintendo song like right in the middle, which was really like awkward because his song didn't really like it wasn't like a vibe with like all the other Disney songs, but it was fun.
No one sang to it because no one knew it.
Yeah, no one knew the song, so we're all just sitting there packed in this tiny little club, and we're all just sitting there like sardines, and he starts playing this song that no one knows, and we're all just like looking around, and it's like, this is interesting. But yeah, it was a good night. It was fun. But yeah, that was this weekend. So we're actually recording this podcast a little bit later than we usually do. We usually record on Friday. We're actually recording it on Monday, the day we typically release stuff. So, but it was a good time. It was fun hanging out with you and your girlfriend.
It was fun drinking everyone's drink.
Yes. So what happened at the club was we all got these drinks, and I think it was vodka and orange juice, and it was absolutely terrible. Like you took a drink and it was horrible. And so your girlfriend didn't drink yours. I didn't drink. I drank. So my fiance absolutely hated it. She gave me her drink. So I was sitting there with two of these, kind of double fisting them a little bit. And then I saw that your girlfriend gave you one. So I was like, all right, I'm going to give you both of mine. And so then you ended up drinking 4 of them, which I don't know how you did.
I can't taste. Lack of smell and taste, that kind of helped me out.
He hasn't tasted in a while. And I think it's after you got maybe COVID, like 2 or 3 years. Didn't you say you got COVID and then after that you haven't been able to taste?
Supposedly, every time I've ever tested, it was always put negative. So I must have gotten it at some point and then just didn't know. But yeah, it's been gone for like 2-3 years now. There are some days where I'm like, oh, I can actually taste, and then it goes away in like an hour or so. So it's still there, I think. But
well, luckily you couldn't taste, so then we could give you all of our drinks because it was, and they were expensive too. I think they were like $10 each for tiny little cups. Man, they're getting ballsy now, charging how much they charge for drinks nowadays. But yeah, that was really fun on Friday night. Yeah.
Yep.
But other than that, did you have any other news that happened to you this week, or was that kind of the highlight?
Just celebrated my girlfriend's nephew's birthday.
Nice.
I worked, and I worked again, and now we're here.
So and now we're here.
Friday night, it was a pretty normal weekend.
Okay. Yeah. I have a pretty cool story to tell.
Yeah.
So, well, 2 stories. One sad story. One good story.
Okay.
My mother's cat ended up passing away, so we actually ended up leaving the club that we were talking about. We actually had to leave a little earlier than we wanted to. So sad story there. But good story to kind of piggyback off of it. There was this new place that opened up near me called Where You Been, and it's spelled like BIN. And it's basically like a Amazon liquidation place where they just put a bunch of like returns in these bins. And each day they're worth different amounts. So like on Friday, everything there is $14, so Friday is $14, Saturday is $10, Sunday is $7, and it goes throughout the week until Thursday is about 25 cents. So I went to this new bin place with the liquidation stuff, and it was on Sunday where everything in the store was $7. And I found this box, and I was like, man, this box is, because a lot of them you can see what it is, or it'll like kind of give a brief description. This box didn't have any description whatsoever. It was just a kind of a box. It kind of had something heavy in it, and there's a section that you could go to and actually get things opened. So I was like, cool. So I kept it. I went to the section to get it opened. Little did I know, they open it and we see a laptop case. And it's like, oh, okay, laptop case, that's kind of boring. Removes the laptop case, and there behold a brand new HP laptop.
Really?
Yeah. $200, I think $50 value of a laptop. And I got it for $7, which was pretty insane.
That's
so
crazy.
Yeah, we went in there. We spent like $70 and got like a bunch of stuff. Like we got the laptop, we got a bunch of stuff for house stuff. Like we got bathroom rugs, bathroom sets, just a bunch of stuff, man. It's definitely a really cool place to go. But yeah, it was pretty insane. I was like a celebrity there for a second because everybody was like, "Oh, you got a laptop?" I was like, "Yeah," and they're like, "Can we take pictures? Can we take pictures?" So I took a bunch of pictures with people, and I think they posted them on their website and stuff. But yeah, it's really cool. Yeah, not people just randomly like, can I get a picture with you? But I guess on Friday, like when they first stock up, because like they do a restock every like Thursday night. So Friday is like when the good stuff's there, and it's like the most expensive. So everything's $14. I guess there's like Apple Watches and AirPods and stuff that people can get.
Yeah,
and I guess I don't know. It's a pretty cool concept. But I think I want to go like a Friday morning. I guess the line was like wrapped because everybody was trying to get in there. But yeah, I thought that was pretty cool. But yeah, other than that, my weekend's been pretty chill.
Dude, that feels like. Do you remember in middle school, at the end of the year, there was like a little raffle type of deal. I won a laptop out of that. Like that's how
for AR points, or are you talking about?
Yeah, it was AR points. I think I saved up all mine. I got like a laptop. I was like, yeah, and everyone's like so upset at me.
Wow, I got you got a laptop. I ended up getting, I think, earbuds, and then my dog ate them the next day.
Well,
So
it was an
they're
old
good.
Mac laptop and it didn't really work, so I didn't really get to use it.
Oh, I remember those. Yeah, they they auctioned off like the ones that we used. I
Yeah.
remember, and it was like old. Yeah. But yeah, anyways, yeah, if you see a liquidation store anywhere, feel free to go in there. You might be able to find yourself a laptop for $7.
That's crazy.
Yes. But there wasn't that much news this week. Diablo 4 is coming out June 6th, so tomorrow. So that should be a pretty interesting. I'm pretty interested to see like what the reviews on that might be. Early access is already out, and it seems
Have you
like
played Diablo?
I've played older versions. I haven't played a ton of it, but I am kind of excited for Diablo 4. I'm interested to see what the ratings might be. So far, what I've seen is the ratings are pretty damn good. So I guess we'll kind of see how that goes for the remainder of the week when it actually releases to everybody. But did you play Diablo at all?
I played the third one. I was sick one time, so my dad's coworker gave me 2 games, and one of them was Diablo 3. I got really far, and then he asked for them back, and then I lost all my progress. So then I rebought it
Nice.
on the Xbox One, and I mean it's fun. Like it's not my type of game per se. Like I don't really like the top down, like those type of games, like that top down. But like it was fun for what it was. I like the dungeon crawling and the armor and all that stuff. Like that stuff, I think made up for it. It's like
Yeah,
I'm not
I
gonna
might.
rush this game, but like it's
Yeah,
cool.
I might pick it up depending on what the ratings are. If people really like it, I might pick it up just to see how it is. But the Diablo games seem like they're all pretty good, so I'm definitely interested in how that turns out. Another news that we had this week was the Meta Quest 3, which actually kind of seems irrelevant now that Apple did their I guess their little live stream today, but we're going to be covering a lot of that next week. But MetaQuest, I guess Facebook, Oculus Quest 3 just got announced, and it's $499, which I think that's about the same price. I feel like the Oculus Quest 2 was like 250 or like 300, so they definitely upped the price a little bit. However, it looks like the Oculus Quest 2s will actually be reduced their prices. So if you've been wanting a Meta Quest 2, go get one, because I think they're lowering the price tags for the Quest 2. So and it's a great. I have one. It's fun. It's definitely a good starter console for virtual reality gaming if you're into that kind of stuff.
Yeah.
Personally, I think we talked about this on the podcast maybe last week or the week before. Virtual reality gaming is it's definitely an interesting thing. I'm really motion sickness, so anytime I play a VR game, I do get sick typically. But it is really really cool technology. So I definitely suggest, if ever, somebody to just try it out. But yeah, what about you? Have you had any VR experience?
I've used them before, but like I've never owned one. I think we did discuss it. It's like that's not my type of gaming. Like I
Yeah.
don't think I'd want like a full-fledged game in VR because like that's just it would be too much for me. But I think for like Beat Saber type stuff, like that's fun for VR, and it's a good exercise too, which is
Yeah.
fine. Like
Beat Saber is definitely a classic, and I think it Beat Saber reminds me of like the Rock Bands and Guitar Hero of its time. Like
yeah,
it was like that classic, like it wasn't like a normal game, but it was like if you thought of like a really cool interactive game on PlayStation or Xbox, you'd always think like, oh, want to play Rock Band. Like that was you know what, that era was really fun. Not to like side off, but did you play Guitar Hero, or did you play Rock Band, or did you play both?
I mean, I played if someone had it at their house, but I did
You
not
didn't have
really
either on them?
care for those games that much.
Really?
Yeah,
I played Rock Band, and I thought Rock Band was 100%. I never understood why anybody played Guitar Hero, because Guitar Hero was just the guitar, where Rock Band was like guitar, bass, drums, microphone. Like it had all of them. So I didn't even know why people played Guitar Hero, because I feel like Rock Band was just like Guitar Hero but more. But I know a lot of people like swear by Guitar Hero. So
I hear a lot more good stuff about guitar than Rock Band.
yeah, see, I don't know. The games are definitely fun. especially if you get like everybody in the room. I mean, I think you'd look like honestly, now that I'm looking back at it, I feel like everybody looked like some nerds, like playing your little like electronic guitar and then playing your drums that aren't actually drums. But it was a good time. I feel like everybody.
Why people didn't like it.
Yeah, they don't really. I mean, that's not really a thing anymore. Like people don't really play those. I mean, I'm sure people play the games now, but it's not as. I don't know. Can you get Rock Band for the PS5 and like Xbox One X? Like, is that have they made it to next gen, or did they just?
I think they stopped.
They just stopped. People were like, I don't know. I
personally, don't you need a whole new thing. Like
you need like guitar. Yeah, you need the guitar. You need to. It wasn't that expensive though. I mean, I didn't back when it was big. I didn't pay for it. My family or my parents paid for it, so I don't know exactly what the price was. But yeah, I think it was a little bit pricey, but it was definitely worth it. I think. I don't know. I guess if they're not coming out with them, it didn't work very well. So, but yeah, but anyways. Spiderman movie. You watched it. I did not. He's seen it twice. He's told me to see it. I've been told by coworkers to see it today. So I'm gonna have to go see this. But before I go see it, I need your. I have not actually. I've seen all the Spider-Mans other than the animated ones, and I've heard the animated ones are good. I just haven't had the time to watch them. So you have to go into the review knowing that I haven't seen the first one. So give us like a spoiler-free, like solid review on the new Spider-Man. Is it worth a watch? Let's do a throwback kicker flick. Is it good?
Yeah. No, yeah, it's definitely like better. The first time I watched it, I had to think about it. Like I liked it, but there was like a lot it threw at you. But after rewatching it, I'm like, this is a pretty solid second movie. And like it can honestly stand on its own, but like it's good that the first one exists. I saw an IMAX the first night on June 1st, like the night before it came out. So I got a free poster to go along with the movie, which is pretty cool. But yeah, like it's Miles again. He's got a new threat to face, and it can either destroy the whole multiverse or not, or he's to comply and let things happen.
Is it better than the first one, or is it just different? It is better than the first one.
It's both. Like the second one builds off the first one, but it kind of changes some things. That's probably why I didn't know if I liked it as much at first, because I didn't like some of the changes. But after rewatching it, like I do, and I don't know. You just gotta watch it, dude. It's great. The animation is amazing.
Is it? So do you need to watch the first Spider-Man to be able to see this one, or could I just watch this one flat out?
You can watch it, but you're going to be a little bit confused, I think, for some.
Okay, so watch the first one, then the second one. I need to watch the first one anyway, so I might as well just watch it.
The first one's like small scale, kind of like the threat is big-ish, but like it's more it's like in his universe. So it's like, it takes place in one universe. This one, they go through like different universes and stuff. So like it really leaps forward in the story and like animation and world building and all that. Like it's crazy.
Yeah, see, I don't want the Spider-Man haters or fanboys to come after me, but I just really like the OG non-animated like Peter Parker Spider-Mans, and so that's why I've been like weary about watching them. Is I just don't think I would like it animated. It's just not something that I think I would like. I've been a really big Spider-Man fan, but I've never really been a fan of like animated stuff. I guess. I mean, some animated stuff I'm a fan of, but Spider-Man it's just been a classic for me. So it'll definitely be interesting. Would you say it's better or worse than the I guess OG Spider-Mans? Like
Tobey?
Yeah. Or any of them.
So far,
really?
Yeah. It's so far the only ones I would say that, at least for me, people don't really like Far From Home, but I really like that movie. I'd say like that's up there. Spider-Man 2 is up there. And No Way Home. Like there are the three that would be like on par or like a little bit less than the Spiderverse movies. Everything else, I don't know. Like, I like Peter Parker too. Like, I grew up with him.
Yeah.
So when I first heard about Miles, I didn't know there's other universes. So like, I didn't really care for Miles because I thought he replaced like actual Peter, and that kind of upset me just because I was a big Peter fan. And like now I understand the whole comic stuff. He's like from another universe, technically, but now he isn't. But knowing that and like just giving these movies a try, like it doesn't take away from Peter. Like Peter is acknowledged in the first one, and like he's not like thrown away. Like, oh, this is a new Spider-Man, by the way. It's like,
see, that's what I thought it was. I thought it was just like, oh, let's not mention about Peter Parker or whatever, and then they just moved to their own thing. So now that you told me that it was mentioned in the first one, I'm a little bit more
like,
comfortable.
He's in it.
Really?
Yeah.
Okay. I'll have to watch it then because it sounds like something I would like. Is it on Where is it on Netflix?
It's nowhere right now.
Nowhere.
We rented it. We had to buy it for like $5 like last week.
Really? Okay.
Yeah. But like, even outside of story wise, like the animation,
I have
something you've never seen before. Like, they could have done like the Pixar, like Disney 3D animated stuff, but like from what I've heard, they made the movie in 3D animation, but like really bad. Like they didn't like add like shading and like all that stuff, so it looked really rough. And then every frame they drew like on top of it.
Oh, so, like, wow!
It's like kind of like double the work. I think it took them 5 years to animate the whole movie, the first one, and then the second one. It got done a little bit faster, but it took them 2 more years because of one particular Spider-Man. Like his animation himself made them take 2 more years.
That's crazy. All right. Well, you have convinced me to watch the first and the second. So to reiterate and to kind of bring it back home, flick or kick for the new Spider-Man, and then rating it out of 10. What would it be?
Definitely a flick, and probably like 9. Like 0.8,
wow.
9.7. Like it's really good.
That's pretty good. That's pretty good.
Remember when I quizzed you on the villains in the first podcast? The Spot was one of the guys I asked you about. He's the main villain in this one.
Oh, so
they
must have heard our podcast.
Yeah, he's a joke villain in the comics, and they made him like a huge threat in this one. Like it's awesome.
Interesting. All right. Well, I will have to check that out. Another big box office movie this week was the Little Mermaid movie. I haven't seen it. You haven't seen it, correct?
No, I don't care for the live action Disney stuff that much.
See, I'm the same way. But I've heard it's really good. I've heard from a few people that it's really good. I've also heard from a few people it's really bad. So it's like I haven't heard any like in the middle of like, oh, it's okay. It's either really bad or really good. So I feel like I might have to watch it. But yeah, I'm not totally sure on it yet. I might just wait till it comes out on Disney Plus because I'm assuming that it will here soon, and then we could just.
I've heard it's good, but it's like, or I heard it's like one of the best live action remakes they've made. That's not really saying much to me because I don't really care for anyone. Like, I saw Aladdin just because I like Aladdin. So I wanted to see what they did for the live action. I think that's the only one I've seen that's been live action. All the other ones I have not. Like, I've seen clips of The Lion King, and like they don't express themselves. So like when Mufasa died, Simba just like looks at the screen like not sad at all because he looks like a freaking lion. Like it's
I don't think I've seen a single live action Disney movie because every time I want to, everybody's like, just don't waste your time. Just don't waste your time with it. So it's I think it's just a cash grab, to be honest. I think they're really trying to get off the nostalgia. And also I wasn't a Little Mermaid fan anyways, just like the animated part. So it's even like a double of why I didn't go see it. But now that the reviews are coming in, people are telling me it's really good and really bad. I might have to check it out.
I'm just gonna wait.
We'll see. I'm definitely not paying for any tickets. That's yeah. We'll see it on Disney Plus. But yeah, in kind of the Spider-Man realm, talent has a top 7 for me this week, which should be pretty fun. So you want to explain what your top 7 is?
I'm giving Jacob the top 7 Spider-Man live-action movies. So this is like the Tobey Maguire, Andrew Garfield, Tom Holland.
Yep.
Well, I guess, yeah. So it's just like out of those guys, and it has like there's 11 apparently.
Okay. I'm
gonna spoil
actually
this.
looking at them. I looked them up right now, just so I can have the movie titles, just so I can remember which ones. So
This isn't a spoiler, but like number 11 is Spider-Man / Men in Black 2. I don't know what that is. I've never heard that in my life. So
Spider-Man Men in Black.
yeah, they had like a crossover, I guess.
I have to see this. I have to look this up. Spider-Man Men in Black 2. Oh, wait, what? I'm so confused. Men in Black versus Spider-Man. No, I don't know.
They released a double feature.
Oh, I see. Why would they do that?
I don't know.
That's weird. Okay, so number 1 is the highest grossing, so like the most amount of money.
Yeah.
Okay, you want me to go from bottom to top or top to bottom?
You can go bottom to top. Make it interesting.
I don't know. This is trying to think here. Okay, I'm thinking Spider-Man. Oh man, Tobey Maguire. I forgot his belt. He's probably at the bottom. All of his have to probably be at the bottom. I would say the Amazing Spider-Man 2 is towards the bottom.
Is that your answer for 7?
Yeah.
You were one off. It's the Amazing It's the first one. The second one is right below it. Yeah.
Okay. Really? So the first one did the first one. Oh. So wait, the first one did worse than the second?
No, the first one did better than the second. You're guessing 7 and up, right? Like 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. So
yeah,
number 7 is the first one. Yeah.
Okay.
The second one is 8th. So I think it was like 16.
Oh, okay. I thought you meant the second one was 6. Okay, that makes sense. Okay. Because I was like, there's no way that the first. See, that's so sad, to be honest. Hot take, I really, really liked the Amazing Spider-Mans with Tobey Maguire. I thought he did a fantastic job, and people hate on his Spider-Man so hard. I think it's because everybody has that like nostalgia with Tobey Maguire. Is that how you say his name?
Yeah. Yeah, Toby. You said Toby twice, so you mean Andrew. You like
Andrew Garfield. Sorry. Andrew Garfield, I thought did a fantastic job in the Amazing Spider-Mans. But Tobey Maguire, I think everybody's just so like, there's just so much nostalgia there because that was like the first Spider-Man, so they didn't give him a good rap. And then Tom Holland came in, and it was a part of like the Avengers, which I think people were like, "Oh, that's cool. They're adding Spider-Man." Well, he was already kind of in the event. Well, he was in the Marvel universe, but he wasn't actually in the Avengers. So I think Tom Holland and Tobey Maguire kind of got lucky with where they ended, where Andrew Garfield kind of got screwed a little bit. But
the first Andrew Garfield one I like it's not.
I like them. I thought they were funny too.
The second one is the writing was kind of weird, and there's like 50 villains. Not really. I guess there's like 2.
But
not a lot, but still.
The one thing I really did like about the second one, okay, well, it was bad to say, but they have never killed off like a main character, and they killed off. Or wait, was she? She was killed in the first one, wasn't she?
She died in the second.
Did she die in the second one?
Yeah.
So Gwen Stacy got killed off, and that's like the first time that I've seen like a superhero movie where like things don't go, things don't happen the right way, where something bad happened, which I thought was kind of ballsy by the writers to write it that way. So that was one thing that about the Spider-Man 2 movie where I was like, oh, that's kind of not like a good thing, like, oh, I'm glad that she died, but interesting that they chose to write it that way.
Also, she died, and then he never got a third movie, so it just ends with him with like his girlfriend dying, and that's it.
Yeah, but it came full circle, like the way that was written, and then with the newest live action Spider-Man, it's just classic. But anyways, I want to get back to this. So we have 7 is the regular Spider-Man or the Amazing Spider-Man.
Yes.
And then the Amazing Spider-Man 2 is not even in the top 7. It's 8.
No.
Okay. So 6, I would say. Oh man, I would say it has to be the Tobey Maguire movies because the Avenger movies are just massive.
Yeah.
So I would say Spider-Man 2. Would that be 6?
Yeah. You saying
Okay.
the Tobey Maguire one or
Yeah, Tobey Maguire, Spider-Man 2.
no? That is Spider-Man: Homecoming, the first
Really?
Tom Holland one.
Really?
It
I
made
guess, I guess the regular
334 million.
Wow. Okay, that makes sense. I mean, I guess the Tobey Maguire Spider-Mans have been out for a while, and everybody's seen them. I was just in my brain, I was thinking, okay, that changes my mind about things then, because I was thinking that since it's part of the Avengers like thing, and they just get so much hype that I thought that his would be a little bit higher. But that makes sense. Okay, so then I would say the 5th one is Tom Holland's second one.
It'd be Spider-Man 3.
Really?
Tobey Maguire, yeah. 336 million. It made
Really?
2 million more than Tom's first movie.
Interesting. So we'll get to this later when we're talking about our favorite Spider-Mans, but that's up there for me, the third one. Okay.
Do you mean to name the 4, like not in order though? Like, or do you just want to go with one?
So, well, how about I guess 1? I bet 1 is the newest one, No Way Home.
Number 1, you said what? Number 1 is No Way Home.
No Way Home. Yeah.
Yeah, that's right. It made $804 million.
Yeah. That was honestly, when I saw that movie in theaters, No Way Home, I think that might have been the best cinematic like experience. Like when all 3 Spider-Man came on screen and everybody in the theater was screaming, that was just nothing will come close to that. That was amazing. So that's definitely 1. 2, I'm gonna go with Spider-Man original with Tobey Maguire.
Yeah.
Okay.
403 million. The gap between these 2 movies, number 1 and number 2, is crazy. Around 400 million.
That's actually crazy. So it's like doubled, basically.
Yeah, pretty much.
That's insane. Okay, that makes sense. Then all I have left is Spider-Man 2 and then Tom Holland's second movie, right?
Yeah. I'm
gonna say Spider-Man 2 is 3rd, the original second one.
No, it's 4th.
Really? And Tom Holland's second one is 4th or 3rd.
Yeah. 300. Tom Holland made 390 million, and then Spider-Man 2 made 373 million.
Okay. I didn't really like Tom Holland's second movie, really.
I don't know why, but something about that movie, like I love. It's my second favorite of his 3 movies.
Well, you like what's his name, don't you? The villain who was, I can't remember his name.
Mysterio?
Yeah, but what was his actor name?
Oh, Jake Gyllenhaal.
Yeah, don't you like him in general, like as an actor?
I mean, he's okay. I don't have like I'm not like ready to go see his new movies. No.
Oh, I thought you were like a big fan. Okay, I've heard you say that you like the second movie, so that makes sense. It does surprise me that one would be over the second original, because like Doc Ock, a lot of people.
Yeah, people say the second Spider-Man is like the best Spider-Man ever, and like it's still less than that.
Well, we can actually piggyback into, or we kind of go into our next discussion, because we wanted to kind of talk about our favorite Spider-Man movies. So we can actually, this is a good segue into that. So what's your favorite Spider-Man movie? I mean, you might have already answered it, and I may have already answered mine.
We do like a top 3 or something, because I feel like
we do top 3.
I feel like obviously it would have to be No Way Home. Yeah. Like, not the story wise, it was all right, but it's just the fan serviceness is what.
Dude, it's too good.
It's what, yeah. Like the way I felt, like in theaters watching No Way Home, like when you sit down before the movie starts, like the anticipation, that's how I felt for the new Spiderverse movie. Yeah. Like I've never really felt that much with like any other than that. I've never felt like excited and scared and like a bunch of emotions, like what's going to happen. And I felt that for both of them. But
the thing about No Way Home, because you're kind of talking about like your cinematic experience on it, I was lucky enough, and I think you were lucky enough to watch it like at the beginning. Like I think I watched it the day it released or the day
Yeah,
after. So the
I watched it
spoilers
today.
weren't really out at that point. So everybody knew that there was a potential of all three. But honestly, a lot of from what I was reading, like the day of, they did a really good job selling that they weren't all three in it because
Hey,
I
remember
had
that photo,
no idea.
Andrew?
Yeah, well, there was so much evidence that there was all three of them in it, and then when I was watching like interviews of Andrew Garfield and Tobey Maguire, and it was just like, and just what people were saying, it was like it seemed like it wasn't happening.
Yeah,
So I went in, and I think I told my fiance when we were walking into the theater, I said, because she was like, "What do you think the chances of all three of them being?" And I was like 20%. Like I thought there was potentially to happen, but I wasn't very sure about it. And
yeah,
so the fact that it did happen, it was like a very, very good surprise. So that's one thing I'm really happy that I went to go see. And I think you saw the movie like
yeah.
opening night, so you didn't get that spoiler.
I heard rumors. There was some guy saying Daredevil's going to be in this movie. All the Spider-Man are going to be in this movie, and like all this stuff. I was like, there's no, like I don't know. I'm not
I
sure.
think it was just so unbelievable too. Like no one actually thought that all
Yeah,
three actors would do it because you couldn't just do it with one. You had to have
yeah,
like you couldn't do it with two of them. You had to have all three. And I think that was another factor too. People were like, "There's no way that they got Tobey Maguire, Andrew Garfield, and Tom Holland to agree to do one movie." And it happened, and everybody was like, and Daredevil, like you said, like there was just so many different elements that it was like so unbelievable. So when it did happen, it was just a cinematic just treasure.
yeah.
I
Once
don't know why I'm doing this with like my Italian hands, but yes.
but once I saw Daredevil, I was like, no way, dude, it's happening. They're going to be in the movie at some point. Because like I was like, there's a chance for the Spider-Man, but like, why would you make a claim that Daredevil's going to be in this movie for no reason? Like he had no, I guess like lawyer wise, but he had no business being in that movie to a degree. But like once I saw him, I'm like, dude, we're in for a treat. And
Dude,
then,
well, the way the other thing too about like the way they did it too was like perfect. Like they didn't overhype it at all. Like when Andrew Garfield came in, like when they opened the portal and you saw the Spider-Man, you were like that could be like you were kind of like that's interesting. And then when he took the mask off, it was just so nonchalant. Like it wasn't like an overhyped. Like they didn't have the music going and they
yeah,
were like directing it. It just like happened, and everybody was like, "What the like?" It just happened, and it was so cool, like the way they did that. And then I don't remember how Tobey Maguire like
he
how
just walked in.
I think he just walked in, but I think everybody knew once Andrew Garfield was there. It's like, oh, they're all there.
Yeah, I saw Andrew and I was like, that's not Tom. And I saw his eyes on the suit. And I was like, dude. And I looked at my friends. I'm like, guys, no way. And we were looking at each other like, oh. And then he came out.
It was such a good movie, dude. So okay, yours is that one's number one for you. That one's obviously number one for me as well. So 2 and 3 will probably differ, me and you, most likely.
It might, dang it, dude. It might be recency bias. Like, I really do like this new Spider-Man.
You're gonna go with this new one that just came out?
I think so.
Really? Okay.
It's just fun. The guys that helped make this, they made like the Lego movie and 21 Jump Street and stuff. So like I like their kind of humor. And like that was in this movie a lot, which I really liked. And just the action and the animation and the story, like all that stuff, like it was crazy, dude. Like it was really good.
Okay. Well, I mean that makes me continue to want to watch this. I would say my second one is, I think it's a hot take, but I would say Spider-Man 3 with Tobey
Really?
Maguire. Yeah, that movie. I'm just looking at all the Spider-Man movies on my screen right now. I'm trying to make sure that that's my second favorite one, but I think it is.
I should probably do it too because I feel like I am
Yeah,
just being.
I think it is because the Spider-Man 3 movie, it had so much. It kind of reminds me of like No Way Home a little bit. Like there was so many villains. There was Sandman, there was Venom, and then there was also the Green Goblin who was like a bad guy but also a good guy too. And it was just like I thought it was a great story because you had like him fighting the Green Goblin who was his best friend, who he didn't know he was Spider-Man at the time, but then found out he was Spider-Man, and then he went after Spider-Man's girlfriend, and then so like they were fighting the entire time. Plus, you have these two like I thought really good villains. I thought Sandman and Venom were like two really good villains that had good story arcs to their characters, and so I thought good villains, good kind of conflict in the beginning with his friend. Yeah. And then it kind of comes full circle at the end where the Green Goblin, his friend, this guy that he's been battling with at the beginning of the movie, comes and actually helps him fight the villains at the end. And I mean, I thought it was really, I don't know. I just thought it was really, they just had a lot of stuff going on, especially and I would say, especially for the time period, because that movie was made in 2007. For that time period, I feel like that movie was just super good. Super good. I think it ranks higher than some of the newer Avenger movies.
I remember the hype around that movie when I was that young, because at my school we had like a little carnival type thing going on, and I remember collecting all these little toy spiders. My parents were like, all right, let's go see the movie. So I brought all my toy spiders with me, and I just remember watching it, and I was like, whoa, this is awesome. Like I remember the night I watched that movie, like it was seared in my brain.
Dude, you can't. I just thought of this too. You can't forget what happened with Spider-Man 3. The memes that came out of that movie with angry or evil Tobey Maguire.
Yeah. You
can't forget that was also a thing that happened in that movie. So, I mean, I think the memes were there. The story was there. The action was there. Like, it's a good movie.
That means you're going to like the first Spiderverse because they reference that.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
Dude, I could sit there and watch like angry Tobey Maguire memes like all day. They're like the funniest things ever. Like there's so many YouTube videos that like make like it's a 10-minute story just using like clips of Spider-Man 3. Like it's just it's so funny. But yeah, that's definitely my second. Now that I'm like explained it, it's definitely my second favorite Spider-Man.
Yeah.
And then your third one. What's your third one?
Dude, this is hard.
It's tough.
No. Dude, I'm pitting two that I love against each other.
Which ones? Which ones is it between?
The first Spider-Verse and Spider-Man Far From Home. And I feel like it's a crime not adding Spider-Man 2 into this list, but Spider-Man 2 will be like my honorable fourth mention or something. But like
for Tobey Maguire?
Yeah.
Okay.
I mean, I like the first Tobey one. The second one...
First one, I don't really... I mean, it's okay.
Yeah,
it's a good start, but...
It's good, but I like the second one more, and I remember watching that more as a kid. And I played the Spider-Man 2 video game when I was younger. Like, that was my first introduction to, like, a Spider-Man game. But I just remember watching Far From Home and just being amazed. And then the cliffhanger at the end where he gets outed as Peter Parker.
That is true.
I was like, what?
That is true. That's another one with that. Man, there's so many like these like there's really not a bad one, to be honest. Like they're all good in their own way. Like that one you're talking about, No Way, what was it? Far From Home.
Yeah.
That one was the first time that a Spider-Man was even outed as a Spider-Man, which is like crazy. So yeah, that's up to you which one it's a hard decision.
The Spider-Verse is also just like a comfort movie too. Like I know if I put on that movie, I'm going to sit to the end of it. It's not like something I'm like I can just watch it like as many times. Dude, okay.
You got to come up with a decision.
You have your third? I need to think.
I do. I have my third.
Okay.
And it's not any of the ones that you have talked about. I would say The Amazing Spider-Man, the first one, just because I really like Andrew Garfield. I thought he did a really good job. And I like the humor. I think the humor, the best Spider-Man humor, I think, has been in The Amazing Spider-Mans. Mm-hmm. And so I have to give that as like third. And so I feel pretty comfortable that like I had a Tom Holland, the No Way Home, which is I think everybody's favorite, number one. I had a Tobey Maguire one second, and then I had a Andrew Garfield one as third. I think that's a solid top three for me. I don't think I could change it. So It's hard. I know. It's difficult.
I love these two movies, but I think if I'm going by watchability for me, it would have to be the first Spider-Verse.
Okay.
And I think Far From Home and 2 are honorable mentions. They would be on my list if I'd made a top 5.
Okay. Yeah, I would say my honorable mention would probably be, I mean, I haven't seen the Spider-Verse, so I really need to see those because you have the 2 in your top 3, so I need to see both of them. But I think I would probably have 4. I would probably have Spider-Man 2. I don't know. Maybe I would have, I'd probably have Spider-Man 2, and then I would have Far From Home I would have Spider-Man 2 as 4, and then I would have Spider-Man Far From Home as 5. I think that would be my list of the top 5. But man, it's difficult. That's definitely a hard.
It's like you said, there's no really bad movie. Like I don't hate. Good. Like I could watch any of these. Like I would not be upset if I had to watch any of these. Like they're all good.
I met somebody. I think it was one of my mom's friends, and I was talking to her about. It was right when No Way Home came out, and she said that she hadn't seen any of the Spider-Mans, none of the Tobey Maguires, none of the Andrew Garfields, none of the Tom Hollands. I was like, listen, when you get home, you need to binge all of these, and then you need to watch, because she wanted to just watch No Way Home, and I was like, no, you can't. Like, you're gonna ruin the experience. You need to watch all the old ones first, then watch No Way Home, and you'll appreciate it so much. Like it's worth it. Like those are movies that will be 100% worth your time watching. They're just cinematic masterpieces. Just amazing.
Could you imagine if for No Way Home, they added all of Tobey and Andrew's villains, and they just weren't in the movie? It was just Tom fighting his villains. Like
that was another thing too. The villains came back too. It was like it was so. I don't think they were missing any. They had Sandman. I guess they didn't have Venom from Tobey Maguire Spider-Man's, but
they had every villain from every movie. I think, yeah.
I mean, they had all of them. So, but yeah, that's
Venom was there technically.
Yeah, I guess.
Did you see Venom, the second Venom movie?
I have not seen this Venom movie, so I need to see them. But I did see the post-credit scene that you're talking about. I'm assuming with the Venom.
Yeah, in the second one, he gets teleported to this universe, and he sees Tom on the screen, and then at the end of this movie, he gets teleported back. So, and that's how freaking Vulture came into Morbius's world.
Yeah, we don't need to even mention Morbius in this pod. This has been a solid podcast of Spider-Man. We don't need some Morbius in here. But that is our top 3, our favorite Spider-Mans. Let us know what you guys think. Which Spider-Mans are the best? Because man, it is a hard decision to choose which Spider-Man movie is the best. But definitely let us know what your order is, because I'm actually really interested. I want to see what people have to say about the Spider-Man movies, because it's definitely a hard decision, and I'd just be interested to see where maybe a lot of people lie. I think a lot of people would be very very similar to ours, but I guess we'll see.
Yeah,
we'll see. Cool. Well, I think it's been a solid podcast. We talked about some news. Yeah, we talked about some news. We talked about talent, gave you a little spoiler free of the new Spider-Verse movie, which I need to go see. We touched on the Little Mermaid and live action Disney movies and how much they're trash. We did a top 7 for how much top grossing Spider-Man movies are, and then we just kind of discussed our top. And man, I could carry this conversation on longer too, which is crazy. Like the movies are amazing, but other than that, I think this was a banger. We didn't lie to you. This was a banger podcast. Is there anything else you wanted to say before we log off here?
Not much, dude. I was going to say something Morbius related, but got nothing.
Nope. And on that note, we are out of here. Well, guys, we'll see you guys in the next podcast. Wait a second. Now that we're towards the end, I'll give a little spoiler, or not spoiler, but little Easter egg. Remember what we said last podcast, what we were going to cover in this podcast, and we made a stupid cringy joke about it, rolling on.
Yeah.
We originally, if you caught our little Easter egg from our last podcast,
totally forgot about that.
We were going to cover Indiana Jones, the new movie. I don't even know if did they even release? I haven't heard anything about that movie. Did it release or did it not? I don't even know.
Let me see.
I have no idea. But we were supposed to cover that. That's why we did the Indiana Jones reference.
It comes out June 30th. You weren't even close.
Thinking. Okay, for some reason we thought the Indiana Jones movie was coming out this week. It obviously did not, so we might cover it when it does come out, June 30th.
That's why we're rolling. That's why.
Yeah, we're continuing to roll.
Yeah,
we're going to keep rolling. But hope you guys enjoyed this podcast. If you did, feel free to leave a like wherever you're watching it. Leave a comment, say hi, and yeah, thank you guys so much for watching. We'll see you in the next one.
Deuces.